All right. The diagram represents a side view of a roof in the shape of a right triangle. Which measurement is closest to the length of the roof in feet? Okay, so hopefully when you see this term right triangle, you think about the Pythagorean theorem. And one thing I've noticed about the 8th grade standardized tests, at least in Texas, the ones that I reviewed over the years, the right triangle is there in 2 to 3 times at least in the test, and that's just on the released questions. I don't know how many are in the actual test. So anyway, and when I say right triangle, I'm referring to specifically the Pythagorean theorem, which is a squared plus b squared is equal to c squared. And I know some of my students have had trouble with the knowing what to put in each of these variables. So I'm going to give you a, hopefully it'll help you remember. So this is the right angle, and it points to the hypotenuse, which is always C when you're talking Pythagorean theorem. The other thing this shows me is it crosses the legs. Okay, so this is a leg and this is a leg. Okay, which are A and B, and it does not matter which one you use for A and which for B, because when you add them together it'll always be the same. So I'm going to go ahead and put in, let's do 8 for A and 18 for B, and that's equal to c squared. 8 squared is 64. 18 squared, let's do that real quick. That's 60. 8 times 8 is 64. 144, 8 and 1, we got 4, 324, and that's equal to c squared. And now I need to add 324 and 64, and I get 388 is equal to c squared. Well, the question is asking me for the length of the roof. It's not asking me for the squared version. Okay, so I have to take the square root of both sides, and also the answers will help clue you into that. Okay, so let me take the square root, and I know the square root of a square is just that number, so the square root of c squared is just c, and the square root of 388, let me get out my calculator here, is 19.69, and we're going to round that up. It's going to be 19.7 equals C, and you can see our answer is D. Now, one other thing, you could actually do this problem just by eliminating the answers, which normally I do to start, but I want to make sure you understand how to do Pythagorean theorem because you're going to see it a lot. But if we've got these two legs here, the hypotenuse is always longer than the longest leg, always, right? Okay, so it's longer than 18, so the answer cannot be 5 or 16, because we know the hypotenuse is the longest side of a right triangle. Okay, and also when you add 18 and 8 together, you get 26, and this length, this roof length, needs to be shorter than these two added together. And I think about that as if I walking home, and I need to go from here to here, I know this is my shortest path, right? If I go here, down here and then down here, that's going to take me longer than it is just to cut across the park or whatever, right? So it's got to be less than that number, so I could eliminate C as well, and this falls right in the range. But I would still check this, just because it's close enough. why did they put it in there? So anyway, I hope this helps, and I will see you in the next one.